Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World and our wonderful syndicated radio and television, both Kathryn Raaker's World and Let's Just Talk. And we have today Executive Vice President and General Manager of Employer at Indeed, Mukherjee. And I am so excited about having him because as part of the company's evolution, Indeed is leading an industry shift by introducing its new pay for results pricing structure. Rather than asking employers to pay for clicks that don't translate into applications, Indeed is giving them a tailored approach to hiring that fits their needs and budget, only paying for each application or each started application. Our guest today, again, is Executive Vice President and General Manager of Employer at Indeed, Mukherjee. And he will be discussing the current status of hiring today, current challenges, the role of technology in plays in shaping the future of hiring, and benefits of using the platform. Welcome to our show, and how are you today?
I'm doing great, Kathryn. Really appreciate you having me here.
Oh, you know, I have loved Indeed from the very beginning you started. And I used to work in hiring and HR. So, and when you have your own company, you hire contractors and all kinds of people. So it's lots have changed, hasn't it, in the world of hiring? Can you tell me what challenges, and welcome to our show, what challenges you are seeing in the job market today?
The job market is anything but normal right now. You have very low unemployment rate on one hand, yet you have in the tech sector, for example, layoffs happening, clear slowdown happening. Right? So both are happening at the same time. And yes, there's a general trend towards further slowdown of the hiring market or the labor market, but pockets of the labor market are still very competitive, very tight. I'll give you a simple example. When I walk down the streets in Austin and look at local businesses, almost all of them have help wanted sign. Similarly, if I look at the healthcare sector, there is clear need for many healthcare workers, particularly nurses, everywhere in the country. So these are not going away. These are trends that have been happening for a while. It's happened mainly because of shrinking talent pools, aging population, less immigration, and changing worker preferences, especially during COVID. That means the labor market in pockets will be tight for a while.
And do you find that a lot of employees jump jobs for $1 or more or whatever? They're not satisfied. They're always looking for more. Am I right or wrong?
It's a very interesting question, the way you say it. It depends. It really depends on where these employers or employees or job seekers come from. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes what we find, job seeker preferences are tied to, is this company a really good place to work? Is this place where I learn? Is this place where they value diversity? Is this place where they take care of their workers well? So the benefits, the work flexibility, that has become really important in many sectors.
Right. And
then in other sectors, yes, you're right, pay still matters and people are looking at that. But I wouldn't go and say that it's, hey, for $1 I'll jump. It's much more, I'll jump, but maybe it's to do with the location of the job. Maybe it's closer to my house. Maybe even if it pays the same, I don't have to commute as much. I'll probably prefer that over going to another place that, yes, I'll make $1 more, but I'll end up spending way more in the transportation cost.
The transportation costs are very important to people, I think, right?
Yes, very much so. So job seekers, again, this is where Indeed's, I mean, we have 300 million job seekers who are looking for a job on our site. And we're very fortunate to know their preferences. And we find it's, again, very different based on the person, but also there is a overall shift towards, it's not just about money, it's about work-life balance. It's about figuring out what I can get from this job beyond just the dollars. Am I going to actually see a career path in this particular company?
What are current barriers for employers are facing making it more difficult to hire? And wouldn't you say that people are so used to staying at home and working from home? Does that come into it?
Certainly working from home comes into it as a preference. This goes to your previous question on choices. A lot of employees or job seekers have made it clear with their preferences that they would not want to relocate for a job. They would want to stay in the city or the location that they're in. Now, broadly, employers are facing many barriers, but the top 5 I'll share with you. Time it takes to hire, poor quality of candidates, oftentimes not meeting the criteria that the employer has set, competition from other companies. So employers are facing stiff competition, especially in those hard to hire sectors that I talked about, not enough applicants or applications, and lack of people resources. And this last part is really important. Whether you're a local business or a large company, oftentimes you don't have enough people to actually take care of the entire hiring process. And that's where you need technology. This technology can really enable you to hire faster, hire better with less people.
Wow. So what are you doing and changing to help local businesses find talent faster and more efficiently?
Yes, as global leaders in hiring, we constantly hear what you just said. They need something better to help them hire, find and hire. Both they have to find them, and then they have to hire them, find quality talent, and hire them faster. And that's why Indeed is in this journey of evolution, where we are moving from where we were, a job search engine, to now a hiring and matching platform. And both are important. The matching side, where we have job seeker preferences, employer preferences, we are matching them with technology. And all of these things happen underneath, like you don't get to see, you only see the tip of the iceberg, so as to say, but that's what matters. You make it so easy that employers and job seekers can share their preferences, and voila, we have this almost instantaneous match that happens on our platform. But you can't stop there. Match is great, but then you have to enable it such that employers can connect with these future employees very easily as well. So we allow them to both schedule interviews, have interviews on our platform. We allow many forms of communication, and we really make it super easy for you to be able to use our platform to have that human connection. Like I actually say this all the time, like technology should be at the service of human beings, being able to have that connection. That's really what we are about.
And what's interesting to me is I get tons and tons of people wanting me, and I'm not sure if these are scammers or what they are. They want to hire me. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't need any more jobs. I have my own business now, and I've had it for a while. And I like having my own business. But, if I was in the job market, I agree with you. You look for certain things in a company that make you want to stay. Do you find that older workers are easier to hire and stay loyal to the employer, or is that changed?
I cannot definitively answer that question. I can tell you this, which is we find employers of like all gender, all races, all age groups, we find that there's a general preference to, I am going to have to do less work to find this job. And they are really, all job seekers tell us that I applied for a job and I don't hear back. That really breaks my heart. That really frustrates me. That's a common problem. We call it the black hole problem. And the reason I bring this up, we are trying to change that. We are saying, if you come to Indeed, if you have your resume on Indeed, if you tell us your preferences, Indeed will do the work for you. Indeed will find the right opportunity for you and send it in your inbox. I was half smiling when you said, hey, I have a business. I'm not looking for a job, but pretend for a second that you had a dream opportunity come your way. I'm not saying you will change your business, but your friend, you might say, okay, that's a really good opportunity I got. I'm going to take that opportunity. But you are not in the mode of going and searching for that job. And so that's what we're doing. We're evolving from you coming in, searching for all jobs, applying to those jobs, to indeed doing the work for you and finding the best opportunity for you. And that's how we think we'll really be able to help millions and millions of job seekers who come to our site.
So Indeed is really the person that's looking for the position, right? And you're helping them to decide where to go, right? And what's best for them. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely, you're right. I mean, our mission is we help people get jobs. We have 300 million people who come to Indeed every month looking for jobs. So we are always job seeker first. But you cannot be job seeker first without having employers be part of your platform. So we have 3 million employers who use Indeed on a regular basis. And the idea is you connect both the job seeker and employer, and you make it really easy for the employers to hire and for the job seekers to find the best opportunities. That's really our mission.
Where can audiences, employers, go for more information on this wonderful platform?
They can go to Indeed.com, INDEED.com. That's it.
That's it. Okay. I can't thank you enough for your mission and what you're doing. It's exciting. And I wish you all the luck in the world. And I'm going to send everybody to you. How about that?
Please, please, please do so. And as I said, have your resume on Indeed. Keep it updated. Who knows, your dream opportunity might come tomorrow.
Right. Thank you. And thank you so much for what you do, Raj, if you don't mind me calling you Raj.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to go to our website at KathrynRaakersWorld.com and let's just talk. We have everything connected on that website. So we will definitely put Indeed out there. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure, and thank you for your time. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Let's Just Talk. You know, life expectancy for someone with cystic fibrosis has roughly doubled thanks to the treatment advances. Today, the median survival age is estimated to be 65 years old. That's a testament to years of research. But there's still a lot of work that lies ahead here. During Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, to talk about the latest advances is the Vice President of CF Research at Vertex is Dr. Fred Van Goor. Welcome to our show, Doctor. This is really an important subject, and I can't believe that there's people that are living to 65 with cystic fibrosis. That's unreal, right?
Yes, it reflects some of the great progress that's been made over the years.
Right. Can you tell us now, so there's a lot of people that may not know anything about cystic fibrosis unless they have someone that's in their family or they have it themselves. Can you tell us about the disease?
Yeah, cystic fibrosis, or CF for short, is a rare genetic disease that progresses from birth and causes multi-organ damage and early death. It's caused by a missing or defective protein called CFTR due to mutations in the CFTR gene. And when this protein doesn't work properly, mucus, a thick, sticky mucus, can build up in various organs throughout the body. And in the lung, this thick, sticky mucus can clog the airways, making it difficult to breathe, as well as trap germs, leading to the recurrent lung infections.
So in the very beginning of when cystic fibrosis was, was actually diagnosed, how long has that been? And 65 is pretty long. So what did it used to be where people would get cystic fibrosis, and actually how long would they live?
Yeah, so the disease itself, cystic fibrosis, was first described, in the early 30s as cystic fibrosis of the pancreas. And since then, symptomatic therapies have been able to extend the life to the mid-30s. But what Vertex has been working on over the last 20 years is medicines that target the underlying cause of cystic fibrosis. And these medicines have been able to potentially extend life expectancy by about doubling of the current standard of care.
So let's find out what the symptoms are, which I think, and what does cystic fibrosis affect, and what are the symptoms?
Yeah, cystic fibrosis affects many organs in the body, and it's a genetic disease, so you're born with it. Some of the early symptoms can be digestive problems, poor growth, inability to gain weight. You can also have chronic or recurrent coughs, and sometimes coughing up this thick, sticky mucus. This is where you get the recurrent lung infections and have difficulty breathing.
And so those are the symptoms. How do people live with it? How do they adjust?
Yeah, well, people with CF have to take many different symptomatic therapies, starting early in life, and to help with some of the digestive problems, for example, they have to take pills to help them digest their food. And so there's a number of different symptomatic therapies, which is why we've been focused for so long on just developing a pill that you can take to treat all of the organs affected in CF and treat the underlying cause. And now we can treat earlier and earlier in life.
What would be is there an age range that it starts at birth and goes all the way
Yes,
to life? Is that it? How do parents figure out when they first have a child, and especially if it's genetic? Is that correct? Or familial?
Yes, it's genetic. Yeah, so there's a number of ways that you can find out. There's newborn screening, where you can test for a mutation from each parent in the babies, or you can tell by the symptoms that start early in life. And another way you can tell is the skin will taste salty, because when this protein doesn't work very properly, you can't reabsorb this salt, so your sweat tastes salty.
What can you tell me about the treatment options right now for cystic fibrosis?
Yeah. So as I said, we've been working for the last 20 years to find medicines that treat the underlying cause. The most recent one is called Trikafta, and Trikafta can treat up to 90% of people with cystic fibrosis. And just last week, we got approval from the FDA to use Trikafta in children ages 2 to 5. And that's really important because, as I said, people are born with the disease. And this will allow about 900 more children in the US to potentially access our medicines. And just last week, or just yesterday, we got approval for another one of our medicines called Kalydeco to treat babies as young as 1 month to 4 months of age. And this really reflects our commitment to develop medicines that can treat as early in life as possible.
So that their lives will be much better, and that they can live longer, hopefully. And, May 15th is CF Awareness Month. Or May is CF Awareness Month, not May 15th. But the whole month of May is CF Awareness. What makes this month so special?
Yeah, May is special because it's a time to reflect on some of the progress that we've talked about for the treatment of CF, but it's important to remember that there's still more work to do. So for example, about 10% of people with cystic fibrosis aren't expected to respond to one of our current medicines. And so we partnered with Moderna to develop an investigational CFTR mRNA therapy to treat the last 10%. And so these earlier and earlier approvals, the continued research that we're doing, as well as the 180 clinical trials that have been completed or are still ongoing, reflects Vertex's commitment to treating all people with cystic fibrosis.
Do people have a normal life that are on the treatments, that they can work, they can do everything that they've wanted to do?
Yeah, so the goal is to intervene early to slow the progression of the disease. compared to the standard of care that just treats the symptoms, where people can live into the mid-30s. We've nearly doubled that to being able to live into the mid-60s is the current life expectancy on one of our CFTR medicines.
We want to thank you for all your work. You've got 20 patents. That's unreal. That's wonderful. And you've been working in the arena for many years, right? And so you must be
over 20 years. Yeah.
Over 20 years. You must be pretty proud, to be in that situation and watch people progress. Where can people go for more information, Doctor?
Yeah, they can visit us at our website, vrtx.com, for more information about our CF programs. And
we'll keep watching and to see what happens in the next few years, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining me on Kathryn Raaker's World. And don't forget to go to our website at kathrynraakersworld.com. You'll be on radio and television. Thank you so very much for joining us today and your mission to make people.
Thank you very much.
Their lives. Thank you. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World. Our interview today is with Faye McCray, Vice President and Head of Health Equity, Social Impact, and Health Grades. She's going to be talking about what women are looking for in healthcare and the challenges they face while seeking care, and also doing preventative care and finding out exactly what's going on and what's going to change everything for them. Welcome to our show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I think it's really important for women to get not only regular care, but preventative care. Tell me, what is preventing women from committing to their yearly health check? I don't understand why they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, you said it, we're taking care of everyone, right? In our families,
Right.
We really are the primary healthcare managers for our families.
Right.
So we handle everything from appointment scheduling to caring for sick family members, and we often put our own healthcare on the back burner. But one of the primary reasons that we see that we're doing this is really cost concerns. So 1 in 3 women are saying that high out-of-pocket expenses are a top reason that they've delayed, avoided, or even just skipped medical care. Another thing is just forgetting to schedule and finding appointment times that are convenient. Again, we're just so busy taking care of everyone else. It's really hard to kind of squeeze in that time to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask this question. Women prioritize their children and family members over themselves. We all do that. When it comes to healthcare, how do you suggest healthcare providers market to women? Because without that person, those children or whoever you're taking care of, isn't going to be able to be around or whatever to help you.
Yeah, 100%. I think the first step is really making it easy for women. So it's making things available like online appointment scheduling. So you're not sitting on hold, and having to end up hanging up before you get to schedule that appointment. But also reminders. I love a good text message reminder. The more the merrier, to just remind me to schedule those screenings or reminding me when those appointments are. So really implementing those things, but also just making that cost information more transparent, letting women know affordable options for their care so that they don't have a reason to really delay or avoid those appointments.
And we want to make sure about that. Did the COVID-19 pandemic affect women's attitudes toward making healthcare appointments?
Yeah, so think? I mean, although women, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, although women's confidence in going to the doctor has returned to nearly pre-pandemic levels, our study found that still over half of women still skip needed preventative care. But the bright side is that nearly half of women are taking their health more seriously post-pandemic, as I hope we all are. So doctors and healthcare systems really have an opportunity to engage women and motivate them to really prioritize their own healthcare.
And how do you market to women? How do healthcare providers, should they be marketing to women to get them to really schedule things and to keep, health on on check.
Yeah, I mean, again, just making it easy and making it more convenient. But finding a doctor can feel overwhelming. It's almost like dating at times, right? So women should really be considering, these factors when choosing care. Are you compatible with your healthcare provider? Does that provider have experience with a specific condition or procedure that you're interested in? And also, do they work at a high quality hospital? And Healthgrades really makes it easy to find all of that information in one place.
Mm-hmm. How do race and gender factor into women's decisions when they're looking for a physician?
Yeah, so I mean, while our study didn't explicitly indicate a preference, studies do show that satisfaction and outcomes improve when a doctor shares your gender, race, or ethnicity. But one thing that our study did show is that women were more likely to report that they trusted their doctors when their doctor was also a woman.
Well, I have a wonderful group of doctors I work with because they're men and women, and I'm not afraid to say anything with them. And I think that's the most important thing, is to get over that shyness. So there's a lot of women there are a little bit shy about telling them about what conditions that they're going through and whatever. Would you agree with that?
I mean, I do think it's anxiety producing, to look for a doctor. Sometimes folks are worried about what those outcomes are, but, it's so essential to have those conversations. It's so essential to go for those screenings. Preventative care really is so crucial in preventing disease progression, so you have to have those conversations and push through it. My mantra is always to do what would make my kids proud. So if I'm going to tell my kids to do something, I need to be doing it too.
Right. And I think that's the most important thing. And to do daily checks for certain things that you can do, okay, because breast healthcare is very important. I mean, there's certain things that we should be doing and being active with our physician or physician's assistant. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, early detection is really key to staying healthy, and that's why it's so important to engage with providers and find those healthcare professionals that you trust and that are familiar with the needs that may be unique to your age or demographic or, where you live. So it's super important for sure.
Right. And I just happen to have, I have a lot of people in my family that are in the healthcare world. So it makes me more apt to do that. But especially if you're taking care of someone like your mother or your aunt or your child or whatever, and you're taking care of yourself as well, so that you can provide the same care for your parents. But if you're afraid, take somebody with you, get a second opinion if you're not happy with it. Right? Am I right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, so much of the work that we do here at Healthgrades is really placing the autonomy in the hands of consumers and in the hands of patients. So you are in control, you're in the driver's seat. So look for those options, and you do have options, and search for providers that really are best suited to meet your needs.
And I have to thank you for what you're doing. You're really making it easier for women to not be afraid to get that preventative care and to get the rather regular health check. If I can do it,
Absolutely.
they can do it, right? Doesn't make any difference.
Absolutely.
So this Mother's Day, which is coming up very shortly, make sure you get this done, right? That's the best thing you can give yourself for Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much. And where can people go, Faye, to get more information about what we've talked about today?
You can visit us at healthgrades.com, and we will help you find a provider. We'll help you get more information on this study, but just come on over and visit us.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for doing what you do in your mission. Thank you so much for joining us today on Kathryn Raaker's World, and Let's Just Talk. And thank you.